Go ahead.
Thank you.
Could you repeat that, Maria, just for the recorder?
Yes. So basically, the theft of the election was orchestrated in the Rome embassy on the second floor of Via Veneto by an employee, Stefan Serafini, Foreign Service officer of over 20 years. He retired the day before the election to ensure he would not lose his pension, unlike what happened to some of the FBI agents who betrayed our country in 2016 and did lose their pension just days before their retirement. So Stefan Serafini coordinated with a General Claudio Graziano. And Claudio Graziano, General Graziano, is on the board of Leonardo, the defense contractor, Leonardo SPA. Leonardo used their military satellite uplink to load the software and transfer it over to change the votes from Trump to Biden. So what everybody's been saying is that we know something happened, The proof that was missing, the very basic who did it, where did they do it, and how did they do it, has been missing from all of the documents sent into the courts, all of the affidavits. There was nothing that was helping us win in the courts. They thought that they were very shrewd in how they did it. They had a really brilliant plan that was orchestrated by Barack Obama with the help of Renzi, the former prime minister of Italy. The Italian intelligence service has supplied us with intercepts, photos, phone calls, and shockingly, pictures of the CIA agents who have been involved in orchestrating this. Those pictures of the CIA agents ended up on the internet, and those operatives and the folks at the government in Italy started panicking, and they started replacing all their heads of intelligence, of the cyber readiness, and within Leonardo. And Leonardo, the actual person that did the uploading, arrested for quote-unquote safekeeping, and had the other one put in house arrest. The gentlemen that are in jail and in house arrest are being accused of hacking in to Leonardo to look at like airplane schematics and to get some of their other tools. They're not saying what really happened because it's really about them trying to cover. Unfortunately, other people know who they are and their lives are at great risk. Our team is on the streets of Italy and specifically Rome right this second, building out the plan for divulging this today. We are putting out the information. Obviously, it's not as quick as I would have liked, but it's we leave this up to God and God's timing. Because had Brian Kemp in Georgia, and oh, by the way, I should say for those of you in Georgia, I had notified Brian Kemp many, many weeks ago that I was working on this and information was coming. And I've been trying because they need proof, and you cannot blame them for needing the proof because an allegation like this has to have backup. And so I also, on Christmas Eve, as God would have it, and through the assistance of Tiffany Trump, my husband and I, and Marla helping me get into, invite into Mar-a-Lago on Christmas Eve, Steve and I had a moment to speak with the president, and I informed him that he is getting the best Christmas present he could ever ask for, the affidavits of the people who did it, and their confession and assistance in letting everybody know what happened. He was seated at his table. He swung his head around, and he said, "Merry Christmas" to me. I said, "Merry Christmas, sir. We're about to give you the best Christmas present ever. You're going to have the evidence you need from the Italian whistleblower who actually committed the crime of uploading the software." And he spun his head around and he went, "What? Like what?" And the look on his face, and I said, if you'll permit me, I have a piece of paper for you. And he said, please. So Steve handed me the paper, and I handed it to the president, and that got the ball rolling, that I finally got past a lot of gatekeepers and was able to meet with Rudy. I had 3 subsequent meetings with Rudy at Mar-a-Lago and also saw him in the Georgia Capitol. We have prepped the team on the evidence that we have to date, and he pretty much turned to us on Thursday and pointed at us and said, you have to go get that data. Well, the reason is because all the cases in all the states are in grave danger of having the impact they need. We needed, for the past week, an airplane and funds. An archbishop went missing in Nigeria, which was horrible. He was kidnapped, and we actually had that as an opportunity to supply an aircraft. And unfortunately, or fortunately, as God would have it, the archbishop was rescued and freed, but it was before our plane took off from D.C. to rescue and take place in also bringing back the people that we need. We're in urgent needs of funds for this effort, both from a security standpoint. If you ever told me I'd need to steal a knife off of a table at a restaurant, I would have said you're crazy. And unfortunately, we have had some very intense situations, and I'm sure it's just the beginning because things will escalate. We need security for the people involved in this. We need extensive PR, and we need to have the grassroots army up and running like never before. And the reason is, aside from the fact that we've just awakened a sleeping giant and people who thought that they escaped with the greatest theft in the history of the world, they actually have lost, and they don't know it yet. And it's about to all hit in Italy. We have been working with reporters throughout Europe, and those reporters are preparing the documentations now with the intercepts, the photos, and documentation on how this entire thing had occurred. The shocking news overnight is that we have now also received detailed outlays of how the funding took place. Our research has been phenomenal. It's unequivocal. It is not debatable. It is rock-solid proof, which is part of the problem the Trump family has had is, oh my gosh, this is a trap. It's just like Russia collusion. And you cannot blame them because a lot of people got charged with things and were put through horrendous efforts for the past 4 years by the previous administration. What is important to understand is that Barack Obama in 2017, just as he was leaving, he took some of the money that was slated for Iran and picked up by Italy to transport to Iran through the UAE, actually took $400 million. It was 14 pallets of cash of your hard-earned money, and that money was transferred over to different accounts. And that was the plan to help unravel, the funding to unravel the Trump presidency. 14 pallets of cash. So those funds, we now know and have proof of where they went and how they got there. I can tell you the exact travel plan of the cash. We know it was Barack Obama. Barack Obama conspired with Renzi in the White House. The last state dinner that the president had was with Renzi, the Prime Minister of Italy, and Obama's campaign manager returned to Italy to orchestrate the effort with Renzi. The acting Prime Minister Conte is vehemently, no, I shouldn't use the word vehemently, but is very, very engaged and involved. This information cannot be released yet in the States. We are waiting for Italy to to do their work. We released some information early, and someone on our team actually released it a little too early, so the fear on that side has escalated drastically, and the threat level. I do not have all my people here yet safe, and so we're trying to get everyone back safe. We're trying to get the articles done, and we are working hard at giving that proof to the president and to Rudy and to Mark Meadows. Mark and team are trying to help us. We have sucked up the Secretary of Defense, who is a fantastic man, Chris Miller, who has been advised of our situation. Because it's a NATO ally, we have to be careful on the exfil of pulling our people out, and we can't just go invade Italy, unlike what some rogue military people might want to do. That's not the way to do it. So we've got assets on the ground who are very skilled and helping us. We've been funding them to the tune of over $500,000 out of my account, my personal account, and my friends. So we need help. We need financial support. We need prayers that all of our people come out, that the American public see the truth as what it is, and that the Italian counterparts in the media are able to articulate this in a way that is going to help us springboard off of it to shut down the mainstream TV from not reporting it. We have an Italian judge who has just this morning, Italian time, so they're 6 hours ahead, so in their morning, has now filed for an investigation, and Barack Obama is the center of that investigation. We have a need for recommendations from lawyers that can help me because I am in